Hey, this never ends. The technical problems here goes on and on. I don't know what to do. This goes on and on and on. All the incredible delays and stupidities of this whole process because you're not supposed to have done it this way, Rochelle. That's alright. I already know. Okay, I already know. It's hard to get out of here because nobody's doing anything. Down late, a whole bunch of so lazy bums. Fearful. I don't know what their problem is. Fearful, lazy, jealous. Who knows what it is? I'm not quite sure. Okay, I'm gonna do this. You have a good time. Louis, I don't know if you're gonna live or die. I'll definitely get this done earlier today, though. Marcel, don't make it a perfect broadcast. Most important thing is to get emails quickly and tell them that there's going to be some things up today. Worked on a lot of things, preparations all most of the night, and you're all going to have a nice big switch around between now and the 7th is my plan. And I really I want to get it done before now, but you know, it always takes slightly longer, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready. It's great to be a goddess. I have to tell you, it's kind of a lot of fun to be a goddess. It's more fun than just being a drone. A lot more fun to be a goddess than a drone. I want to help you all be goddesses. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's go back here. Baby's bed, that foundation right now. Let's see if I can find it. I may have to use okay, I have to put the
You actually retrieved the cockroach bread? That was awful. You eat cockroaches now. Ew. also been failing to give the cats water. That's inhumane, and if it keeps up, I'm gonna have the cat sent for him. I'll help it so they can get better care.
Gotta be some German survivors from I did the question. You don't like what I did? Yeah, right, you guys got it.
That garbage bag also had a whole bunch of stuff I freed up for your desktop, including crap and dead chocolates and all sorts of lovely things. I'm calling the cockroach lady now.
Luckily, no one will watch that. Nobody's watching it. And I'm going to play that one more time again because I had it on mute, so let's play this again.
Then she said she couldn't be the maid for everybody. She just wants to do that. That's when she came back and started to spell again with the golden center. Her whole love was to trap her children there. She did. Was trying so easy just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
All right. And we'll say, the light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. And we'll say it again. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. See how marvelous, miraculous they are, but not as marvelous and miraculous as you have within you. Marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. And we'll say, Namaste, mitakuya oyasin, mitakuya koseveral, Kongson Pox, Kompox culture, Tubes Sedlar, Sedlar Tubesk, Bahava, L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Soul, Salam, Shalom, Pache Mir Pache, Ubuntu, Merci, Buenos Dias, Ciao, Schlanzavag, Das Vidanya, Sayonara, Chinque, Chop Chop, and Good Day and Cheerio, and many, many more. And let's also say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper, all, both in each and every one, now and as soon as possible, as of the Milky Way's solar, marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming, co-secretary generals, co-seferaz, equinox, QQs. And let's say it again this way. Let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper, all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible, as equinox QQs of the budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, ever Milky Way's solar, co-secretary generals, co-seferaz that we are. Okay, past, present, future, as we are meant to be. Let go of patriarchy, that's what you become. You should let go of it. Say, oh, I'm done with patriarchy. And it's easy. And you'll have a little residual behaviors of it. I do, we all do. But if you make a conscious effort to treat women with equality and fairness and reparation, and a conscious effort to not make younger people defer to older men all the time, and think that the old men know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing right now. They're doing everything wrong. Okay, you young people and you women and young people are much more important right now. And so that doesn't mean the men can't be included, older men. It's just that they have to give you your swing of the pendulum back to where we can get to the middle. So here we have we're going to drink the milk of human kindness on behalf of all, both, and each and every one, representing all, both, and each and every one. Starting with the importance of the 2 to 3 years on-cue breastfeeding, I continue to call for Julianne Marie, Barbara, Marion, Ivy, Jennifer, all of whom have enormous expertise, and also Georgine, whose family, Jamie Lynn, has written a paper called Mother's Milk, and to come with me on these broadcasts and come onto the Oprah program. And now let me say, at the rate things are going, there might not be an Oprah program much longer. If we get to November, I have news for you. If you even get close to November, maybe if we get close to the Day of Atonement on the calendar, or even my birthday, and you're continuing to do the nothing that you're doing, we may not get to November. We may not be here. If we will be here, it will be in a form that none of you or anyone who has ever grown up in the purgatory that was on the preparation to get a more heavenly earth, that has now degraded below purgatory. Now we're really fallen. We may never get to November in any way that you are used to. You may find yourself in a profoundly totalitarian state with extreme income inequities, race wars breaking out all over, forest fires, terrible environmental catastrophes, one after the other. because you're not paying any attention to the balance issues. So you need to pay attention, and let's make sure that we do get there. So let's say, let's instead celebrate our milk of human kindness, especially the 2 to 3 years breastfeeding and always throughout our lives, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, Equinox 2Qs. Drink on behalf of all, both, and each one, everyone representing all, both, and each one now, as soon as possible, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. And now we have our Purim and our Passover, our Esteros and Easteros, sacramental juices and wines, and they're equally important. Different times and stages of our celebration, different ways of celebration of Mother Nature, and so we celebrate them both, and also the Soma of the Vedic ceremonies, the entheons of the Lucy Mysteries, the eggnogs, the cocos and chocolate drinks of Latin America, all the other different sacramental liquids of our world, and we know that none of them are more sacramental to human being than the mother's milk. The mother's milk is what teaches us bonding, on which basis we form all of the pneumonia golden rule, all the golden rule, to love one another as thyself. Without that bonding, people don't do right things later on in lives. So we have to heal those who didn't have optimal bonding. That's a lot of people to heal, but when we're not putting our money into big weaponry and the wrong energy forms, we'll have that resources. We'll have plenty of time. We'll be Equinox Recused, we'll do all the healing. So let's drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone now, as soon as possible, as Equinox Recused, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries of the budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous Milky Ways, esters, and all the milks, and all of the solar photosynthesizing that brings us these beautiful, marvelous, miraculous elixirs. We'll drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone now, as soon as possible. Very delicious, as was the milk, as is the milk. And we have the water of our loving, living planets that will regain and sustain our planet Earth and all our Earths to be, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. We have our solar orbs here. We're the star stuff too. We shine brightly to each other when we gather. We make the rainbow, we make the circle. If you don't do that, you're darkening yourself. You're staying in the dark. It's like hiding in a closet. You're all hiding in closets. Come out of the closet. Come out of the hiding place. Come out from beneath the rock that you're hiding. And you know, some of you have gone to great efforts to hide. Definitely not returning calls for a long time. So let's have you come out of the hiding and gather. Okay, and let's drink on behalf of all, both, and each other, representing all, both, and each other now, and as soon as possible, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. Delicious, I drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone. Okay. And now we have our cakes. Let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. Now, yesterday was a sister's of another sister's birthday. Harriet had her birthday in May. As Harriet, the goddess, and this could be goddess, who instead is inflicting heart disease and Alzheimer's on herself in order to stay and fit within the patriarchy, imposed on her not only by her sons, but by her daughter-in-law and my sister and herself. And all of the people she knows who are watching TV and aren't paying any attention to my outreach to them. And I did outreach to some of her friends. So, you know, if you want to work so hard at clinging to that which makes you miserable, you're going to have to wait probably till my birthday. And I hope you can. And I'll give you special time. I'll give this little Jacqueline special time that she should have had, that she ought to have, to celebrate her own labors of love, which are actually much more valuable and used to be before she began splitting herself up and favoring one niece over the other and not dealing with the entire family as a circle, but playing territorial games with family. She deserved a lot of credit, much more than she got. Yet she doesn't accept it. I've tried to give it to her. She's not taking it seriously because the people around her don't take her seriously. right? She's a pet. That's how we treat older women. She's a pet. You give her medication, shut her up. She's happy. Okay? That's the way we treat our older women. That's why our younger people have Crohn's disease, because that's the way we treat our older women. So we did let her know that we did a big message for her through her granddaughter, Sarah. Okay? And Sarah's message you will hear later today or tomorrow. You'll hear it. Okay? So let's celebrate and we celebrate. And of course, I mentioned it's her Harriet all over the place. And all of the sister casinas, Julie, Marie, and I, and all the ones of our entire family that nobody is celebrating, and no one is celebrating the young people coherently either. And so we have this problem. So let's fix it. We'll celebrate and we celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days as equinox QQs, co-secretary generals, co-seferas of our Milky Way's marvelously, miraculously, body-moving solar powers. And let's do it this way. And again, we're starting with our Shekinas and our young Shekinas, Nikinas, around age 37 and younger. They're around. It doesn't have to be perfect. And and especially starting with our equinox, vernal and autumnal birthdays, highlighted, starting because we want to focus on equality, and EQ pertains to the equinox. But then we're also going to celebrate as equals solar dates. Okay, so let's celebrate and we celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days as equinox QQs, co-secretary generals, cozy for us. So we did that both ways. And now let's also you know, I have to say something. I'm getting all kinds of knockdowns from people who don't want to hear what I'm doing, want to close up shop. They're ready to say, all right, let's throw in the towel on the world. Let's throw in the towel on each other. Let's throw in the towel on democracy. I'm a Titan. I don't throw in the towel. I don't. And if people shut me up, then you'll simply be without your Titan. Your Titan will be gone and your planet will become dark. I'd rather you become goddesses and gods with me, and then you can become Titans too. Here's the marvelous miraculous cookie that is our Passover our Purim cookie, our Esdras and Easteras celebration, and we have our flatbread of Passover. These are holy days of promise. We make this circle instead of a triangular cookie. We make it. We comment on the fact that it's flatbread, and why is it flatbread? Because all of the people in that story were practicing patriarchy, and none of them were practicing egalitarian culture, even though they had some contact and maybe some years earlier contact with Atlantis, and they forgot it. They didn't think there was too many AP-like alpha males. The women didn't know how to gather. They didn't know how to deal with it, just like now. So here's our risen people instead. Here's our risen circle and our risen oval for our females and our males, and that's what we want you to become. I hope it isn't too late. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't get any words from you. I have no idea what happens to any of you. So I may find out that I failed you and that you didn't even let me know. But I hope not. I'm interceding for you, and I want you to hold on and know that I think there is a way out of your dilemma. And again, the younger people have the good counsel as well as the injunction for the women to gather too. The younger people can start gathering with other women if their mothers won't come. They can call me with another woman and then get their mothers to come later. Okay, so we did that, and then we have, I need to get the eggs of egalitarian culture out of the refrigerator. Just bear with me. I'm just going to go get that. I'll put the picture back of our virtual place on the broadcast. I'll be right back. Everyone has an X chromosome, so everybody has the egg within them. Okay, we have our eggs of egalitarian culture. And we start with the one egg. That's you, me, could be anyone calling the circle by saying purity, not patriarchy, past, present, future. When you say past, present, future, as a circle, you know you're making a circle. The universe is a circle. You're honoring the yin, the mother of the universe. Then you get two people together, like Lee and I on 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hear that broadcast. You've heard many with Anne-Marie and I together. Then you can get three people together. You've heard with Anne-Marie and Patricia and I and our announcements together and working together in that way. And we've had Rosa and Sylvia working together. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen that kind of cooperation. And that's because you've been dragging everybody down, okay? All the people who came in good faith toward you to get you together, you dragged them down, okay? So you can't drag me down. It's like dragging down the Statue of Liberty. It's pretty hard to do. But it's possible. In order to do that, you have to destroy yourselves. Is that what you want to do? Because that's what you're doing. So I don't know. Even that won't really completely destroy the spirit of the mother of the universe. It's just tragic. Why are you doing that to yourselves? I don't know. So let's gather and make the circle 3 women to begin with, and make it 4 to 7 to 11 of women all gathered and co-anoint one another as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, equinox 2 Qs. Then we have bring to us 5 young women and 5 young men around age 37 and younger approximately, and bring them to the circle and co-anoint them and have them co-anoint one another as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, equinox 2 Qs, and their mothers. Okay, and then we have a very good solid beginning of a pendulum swing back toward reparation for women and then balance for the younger people. Okay, and then we start out right. And the older men can wait 9 to 18 months after we've done this, and then they can also join as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, equinox 2 Qs. After they've done the task of looking at what in the world their older male gender has been doing since 1993, when the Beijing guidelines said, let's get at least 30% women in every government by the year 2000 on the road to parity. And where are we? We went backwards here in the United States. Backwards, okay? Wake up. And unfortunately, a lot of the women who've come into the office are just acting like men. They don't think they have need for family leave. They don't think the sisters and cousines that they know need family leave. They don't think they need family leave. They just hire some little nanny and get a low salary and treat her just like old patriarchal men used to treat nannies. And what is the difference? The women have become men in North America. Let's change that and teach men balance instead of becoming men. Okay? And so we have all that, and then that improves the relationships between women and men, in an egalitarian marriage, between men, and then within yourself, it strengthens your ability to say parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future to everyone you know. Okay, very easy. And I know that you can do this ceremony. Probably all of you can do it in your neighborhoods now. You know it by heart. So now I'm training you to do this ceremony. Start doing it. Start doing this ceremony in your neighborhoods. All right. And now we'll do our consciousness currencies. Why do we do consciousness currencies? And I keep showing them to everyone, and I always mark my money as it is marked on the page there, so you can transform the money that you use. I mark it with an millennial golden rule and the figures of a female and a male, and the GPI, the genuine progress indicator, over the face of the bachelorized dead patriarch male. So let's do the consciousness currencies. We are celebrating all the intertwined branches of our family tree. That includes Lunarian, Adelian, Morellian, Margalian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian, Ganser which is all the Native American names intertwined there, and everything from singing crickets and sunflowers to, let's say, rippling brook and happy fawn and whatever kinds of names that Native Americans have been using upon generations in great sense of connection to nature. We need to do that. So, you know, I call myself white, circling, shining dove because I'm connecting to nature in that way. There are doves and they're real creatures, and we should connect to nature. Pick a native name, give yourself a native name. Then we also have Lee Winfrey. Let me back up. We have Kapadia Gandhi, and we have Lee Winfrey. We have Yakov Zaka, I forget the name, from the Unitarian and Universalists in Romania, Hungary. And we have the Baha'i there too, Queens, all various names. And then we have Branskakel, and we have Sweet and Sagan. We have Goldberg and Goldenberg and Cavalia and Lichtian, Leithian, Newcomerian, many other names of neighbors and friends and people, all the people you've known, Sokolovian, Bakwamianian, many more, and Bakundian, we can call it that, many more. And then let's also include the Hannah, Brannick, Skakel, Fitzgerald, Kennedy, Bouvier, Cuomo branches, and our did I say Lee Winfrey? I think I did. And there's many more there too. Scott and Kind and other ones there. And then we also have our Howell and Cassidy. Okay, our current candidates that are running under too often a little bit of a patronymic instead of the true maternal name coming through. It's not coming out. So which includes Margulies. Okay, now let's say we have our so we have all the women in the Akashic record of all those families. Then we have all the women currently here who are around age 38 and over. Okay, those women of all ages, all the way up to 90 or 100 or 125, whatever their age group is, very important in making this transition and getting the reparations they deserve. The problem with this group of women is that they have taken token crumbs, and they don't understand that they've been spliced and diced, and they're not talking together, and that is their problem. So let's bring that together. And then we have our younger people, females and males, our young Shekinas and young Hikinas, around age 37 and younger, also with their faces depicted on these. I passed them out all over the neighborhood, and also with other famous people that have influenced us all, women particularly, or occasionally a male who has done a great deal for balance of gender. Occasionally there are a few men who have come forward and said, I'm going to do this. And those are very important too. But most of them have been women, of course, because we want to value them as they've been the most devalued. And so let's give you all the kisses, and I'm hugging you and I'll give you all the kisses. All right, and then we have our big branching family tree. And the problem that everyone is doing is they're making themselves sick because they're holding on to patriarchy, and they don't want to let it go. Well, it's going to make you sick. It's going to make you depressed. It's going to make you sick. Yeah, you're going to think it's me doing it, but it isn't me. I'm just showing a mirror to you and saying you're doing something to yourself. You're making yourself sick. You're making your children sick. You're making your elders sick, or olders. I won't say elders yet. They're olders. You're making them all sick, ladies, especially that middle group of age group 38 and over. Wake up. So let's have, again, the women of the Akashic record. We have Hannah, and we have Estrella and Libertia, and we have, of course, bringing us all together to start with, really, I should start with Sarah, Harriet, and Ray. Ray and Sarah, Harriet. And we also have Ray and Clara, and Sarah, Harriet, and Jacqueline. Of course, we just mentioned about her. We have Precious Antoinette, and Lillian, and Rose, and Adele, and there's Molly, and there's others, another Lillian there too. And then there's We also include Beth Ann. We include Pearl and Pearl, 2 pearls and a ruby, and we also include Anna Maria, Ma Patricia's Myrtle, Pearl, Marie, and Myrtle, Pearl, Marie, and Rose. And then we also include, of course, our I said Precious and Annette. Then we have our Risen Rose and our Annette, our Dorothy, our Marie of Milk and Honey and Flowing Kindness, of our Dorothy of learning all the lessons of the Wizard of Oz and all of her cues. We don't know as many of them as we should. We also, of course, have Kasturba and Radha here, and many, many more of those branches. We have Ariadne. We have all the women from Atlantis, Pasiphae. We are including them, and those include a lot of your names. You don't realize that your names are also partially derived from them. We also have including all the Mariams and the Mariamas. Obviously, on the family tree, there's huge, and Esters. We've got loads of Esters on the going back in time. Esters and Mariams, very, very, very important among women's names. But all the names are equally important. Once you identify the connection between Mariam and Esther, then you can make the circle, and all the names become important. Vashti, they all vast numbers of names. And then we have Hattie Mae and Gaugy and Lillian Gay and I need to add that to Sarah's tape. Okay, and then we also have let's see, we have Rose, Eunice, and Jacqueline, and many more on that branch, and we have Dorothy and Virginia and others on those, and we also have Malka and Shirley, very, very important, and Barbara and Bessie, also extremely important in our understanding our family system, and very important. And I'm sure, and we have lots of Sylvias. We have Sylvia Light and Sylvia Sacco, lots of them. I think Sylvia Sacco is yet with us. I hope so. And lots of more. So then we have all our current generations of women. We have Victoria and Mariama, Marian, Julia Marie and I, and Marian and Victoria and Barbara and Alexandra and Rachel, Juliana and Francesca, and we have Francesca and Susan, Sarah, Jodine, Laura, remembering Beth Ann. We have Martha, of course, Anne-Marie and Patricia. We have Martha, Sophie, Laura, and Pauline. And we have Jennifer. We have Lynn, Sharon, and Joan. We have Lynn, I mentioned already. We have Sharon and Joan, and we have and Diane, and we have Bacha, Helene, Sherry, Arlene, remembering Lee and Thelma, and Lily, and all those up there. And we have Denise and Marcia, and remembering all the Solomon kinds, all kind. There's many, many more there, connecting to Rose and to Annette, and many, many more, and Marie. And then we also have our Feldmarian family. We connecting to Dorothy and to Giselle. We have Meredith and Andrea, and Cheryl, and Susan, and who am I forgetting? Someone. And Andrea. I think I'm forgetting someone there, but there's more there. Many more on the Feldmarian branch. And so, and remembering Dorothy and Giselle there. And also, of course, did I mention, I think I mentioned the Native American women, yes. And we have also Vernita and Oprah, Patricia, Yasha, Alicia, and Krishnandra. And we have Carrie and Caroline and Megan and Maria. And we also have, of course, Marjorie and Hillary, and there. And then we have our younger people, so very equally important, and especially important to think of spring in any season. And that's where we're running down, we're hurting our spring, and when you're stepping on the seeds of your spring. The older women are stepping on them because the older men are stepping on them, and they're not holding themselves aware to say, older men, you're stepping on them. They're elevating the older men and pushing them over themselves. No wonder the younger people are in trouble. So we have Hadas, Rachel Marie, Daniel Juliet, Stacey Anastasia, Soma, Vanessa Salia, Julia Raquel, Lynn and Sharon and Julia Raquel, and we have Elisa and Natalie, and Hillel and Alicia, Sharon and Elisa, and Rebecca and Sandra, and I neglected to say this older generations, we have Mary and Carrie, and Donna and Diana, okay, and many more, and then we also have I said Rebecca and Sandra, and we have Abby and Sarah, Hesperus and Athena. Let's go back and put them right at the beginning there. And of course, Angeline, April, Rose, and Edith. And we also have Aquarius. And then we have our young men, so equally important. I neglected to say Mary, who's Sally. Let's mention Sally, and let's so mention Mary here. There's another Mary. And then we have Jennifer and Jessica. I neglected to mention Ann Rita and Marilyn. They're in here too. And Lorraine, we have Mindy there too. Then we also have our Aquarius. And then we have our young men, equally important. Yishai, Harlan Viz, Wesley, Harlan Viz, Wesley, Marcel, Atani, Eric, Tony, Marcel, Eric, and Tony, Marcel, Eric, and Jared, and Ross. Ross, very important. And let's give you all big kisses. And then we also include Ben, Shannon, and John, and Andre, equally important. Let me really put them in front too. And so let's give you all big kisses. Okay, and then we have our Winston group. Did I mention Georgine? I don't know if I mentioned Georgine by name. Georgine is very important. Laura's very important, very important. And here we have it at Winston group. We have Victoria Mariama. We have Georgine and Laura. We have all the neighbors all around. We have Stacey and Anastasia right nearby. Marsha, lots of them right nearby. Ray, Ethel, and lots of right nearby. And then we have, of course, Vanessa Salia and Harlan Luz Laviz connecting with all the rest of you circle that you know that you just saw. Let's give you big kisses. And then we have our big family tree once again. And then when we've done that, then we also bring the older men in. The younger brothers as well as Joseph, that girl, and Laura. Right, and that's very good. And then we'll show you, we'll pick parity with clarity with our fruit bowl here. We'll parity paradisal on this and all our planets and say we've had enough of the patriarchal planet side. We'll parity paradisal, past, present, future as equinox QQs, co-secretary generals, Gosia Varaz. Budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, fruit-bearing flowers of solar, Milky Ways, esters, heart lights, always, past, present, future as equinox QQs, co-secretary generals, Gosia Varaz. And marvelous miraculous. Okay, and that's our ceremony, and you know some of what's coming today and tomorrow. It might take me a little bit through the 7th, but I'm doing great on getting things done. Lots of progress. Just sorry that it takes so long. But you're the problem because it really is in your, the ball is in your court. You don't come forward. I don't know what you're waiting for more. I've already written the so-called presidents, the prime ministers, all the cousins I can think of, all the male cousins, all the dominators in your buildings. I don't know what you want. I can't figure out what you're waiting for. You're waiting for something to happen that gives you the go-ahead to go together, and I don't know what it is. So let go of your patriarchy and understand you are mother wounded. We'll all talk about it, okay? No big deal. I love you, and let's get together. I love you. I'll send this message now. And you younger people know you have a good counsel, too. Every blessing. You can call me 24/7.
To save this, your greeting has been saved. To change type 1. To record extension name, press 2. To manage greeting, press 3. To hear messages recorded in this extension,